Okay. Good evening and welcome. This is a live stream fighting CPS and stop taking our children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I warmly welcome you here to talk about how to fight CPS and to stop taking our children. Now, you find me on Facebook, and I'm glad you did, Fighting CPS. It brought you to this room, and this is a YouTube room that I'm in. It's called the CPS Defense Attorney Vincent Davis. And the 7 other Facebook rooms will tie into this room. So it's great that you found me here. And tonight I want to help you. I've been doing this now for 18 months, since October 23. I should say 2023, the year 2023. And I do twice a day these live streams. Now, my face may look very red. Unfortunately, I was at the Long Beach Grand Prix today working as a volunteer, and I'm out in the sun a lot. So I got to put some good suntan lotion on there. Anyway, I'm on typically Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. But this weekend, I actually have different times now. I'm normally on the weekends at 8 a.m., but I'm on at 5 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. in the morning. Yes, that is early. I'm 4 a.m. in the morning because I have to go down to the race there. So I do my live stream, and it's recorded, so you can watch it later or join me then at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the evening, I'm typically on at 7, but I've had my time moved up to 8 o'clock, and it's past 8, so I am live, but I'll give you a full 1 hour of my time, so not to fret. I really care about you, and I know what you're going through with CPS. I, too, am a victim of CPS. I'm not an attorney, and I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 42 years of marriage experiences, and I have helped raise 6 children. And I, too, was a victim of CPS. They stole my 3 youngest children. I have older children that are grown up, and they have families of their own. They're doing very well, so it proves a testimony to my parenting skills, which somehow CPS, well, I ran into a rogue CPS system. I call CPS the Child Protection Systems. They have government entities in every state, every county in every state. They're also worldwide, and I do talk to people around the world. I've talked to 21 countries and over all 50 states, including the District of Columbia. And I've talked to over 1,000 people. Now I'm here to help you. This room is an interactive room, and that means that you can interact with CPS and me. Now, not all CPS is bad or corrupt, but a lot of them are. A lot of them have gone rogue. It all centralized about the money. It's all about money. Uh, Now, I'm using my son's computer at the moment. It seems to be working pretty good. Um, I need to get my phone out so that I can answer phone calls. Now, we can talk about a lot of things. We can talk about the 5 rules I've come up with that will protect your family. We can also talk about topics, things like the ICWA of 1978, the Indian Child Welfare Act. Uh, All right. Somehow I was taken off my site. Oh boy. I'll be glad when I get my new computer. Now, there's lots of ways that you can interact with this live stream. One, just by taking notes and listening. Um, Also, you can do emojis like smiley faces, thumbs up, or hearts. Also, you can send stars. That'd be great. Please check to follow me and review me. That'd be great. If you want to know when I'm going to be on, notification button, and that way you never miss any of my live streams. Hello, no name. Can a parent ever get a new trial? Yes, a parent can get a new trial. You need the help of a lawyer to do it. Maybe the way that the trial was set up, that your rights, your constitutional um, or your civil rights were violated. You're supposed to have proper notification. They cannot do a trial without notifying you. You need to be involved. And hello, child. Glad to see you. Glad to meet you, and God bless you, child. Freeman. Yes, I agree, Freeman. In Jesus' name, CPS stop. I agree. Hope well with your matter today. Yeah, working the Long Beach Grand Prix was quite something. I've been doing it for 50 years as a volunteer. It's an amazing race to see Long Beach puts on. Now, no name, can you give me more details about your case? Also, no name, I need to know what part of the world you're in. Now, I know Child is in LA, and he's hired Vincent Davis as his attorney. Freeman, I don't know where you're from. If you could tell me where you're from, that'd be great. That'd be great. Okay. Oh boy, Child has a lot to say. Lots of prayers coming our way. Well, I welcome No Name and Child and Freeman. It's been coming in my live stream twice a day. Didn't see you this morning. I was bright and early this morning here, Child. Didn't see you. It was early anyway, so I don't think you're up at that early, Child. Um, Now, I have come up with 5 rules, and I keep repeating them every night. And I know you're probably getting tired of it, and I'd like to talk about something else. Before I talk about those rules, I need to tell you how they interact with this live stream. One way is you can just text me a question or a comment about CPS. All I ask you is you state your first name, your city or county and state, and of course your country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you're at. Now, country wise, I've had Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, Saudi Arabia, Libya. Then over to Africa, I've had Liberia, Sudan, Rwanda, Mozambique, and then, of course, South Africa, several of the provinces there. Then up to Europe, England, Scotland, Wales, and Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond in North America, I've had 4 Canadian provinces, all 50 states, the USA, including the District of Columbia. It's not a state, but they called in too. And we go south the border, Mexico, And then down further south in South America above Brazil on the east coast is Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, we go to New Zealand, and then the land down under, Australia, and I've talked to 2 states there. So that's a wealth of people. I mean, I'm talking over 1,000 people. They all have something in common, including me, is they had a bad CPS case and their children were stolen. That's right. Your children get trafficked into foster care. Whew. I'm going to drink some more the Coke to settle my stomach. It's a little upset there. Now, these people have terrible cases of CPS. They've talked about them and talked about them and talked about them. But I'm happy to say a lot of them got them resolved. They come back later and they tell me the good news. They tell me the good news because I have regulars in here. So that's really good because the things I'm telling you are helping. A lot of it's common sense, but a lot of it, don't give up. You don't want to give up. Now, besides texting me a comment, which I'd love to hear about so I can help you, you can also be a guest on this live stream. All you have to do is contact my show producer. Her name is Grace at vincentwdavis.com. That's Grace at vincentwdavis.com. All you do is pick one of my 14 shows. Sunday morning show, Saturday evening show, Wednesday morning, Tuesday evening. You just pick the morning or evening and one of the days of the week. And my producer will give you a link that will connect you with StreamYard, and you can get on to the program that I'll be broadcasting, because I use StreamYard, but I broadcast on YouTube. So that's a second way of interacting. A third way is I'm going to put my number up. My number to call in right now is 626-698-0990. 626-698-0990. And you can call me and talk on the show. I'll put it on speakerphone and everybody can hear, and then we could work from there. We can work from there. If you call in or be a guest of my show, I can. Wow, we got someone calling in. Great. Good evening, and welcome to my live stream. I'm Bob Pace for the law offices of Vincent.
Right now.
Great. And which name are you right now?
I'm under Dr. Death 43.
Oh, you came just on now. Okay? I remember you from yesterday, and I'm glad you called because I know that you wanted to talk. So I forgot what place of the world you're from.
Iowa.
Iowa. Okay, the good state of Iowa. A lot of corn there, huh? Yeah. So
I had to meet the broadcast so I could hear you.
Okay, yes, that's okay. I have a new person, Ghost Like Span Cakes. Do you know Tennessee law? They're asking about Tennessee law. And so maybe there's something that can help you. I don't know. They haven't told me the question yet. But what about you?
Right.
What question do you have, or how can I help you?
Well, right now I'm going through a CPS case myself with 5 kids, and we did our 6-month review, as they call them, and they're basically told the court that they're not willing to bring the kids back to our in my wife's care. They need to stay in foster care.
Well, can you start from the beginning when CPS first contacted you?
Yes, I took my girls to school one day. I mentioned it to the teachers that my girls got into, like one was pinching the other, and left marks on my daughter, our sister, basically. And so I took care of it. You know, their kids will not behave when they're in school. And next thing I know, a few hours later, go pick the kids up. They didn't say that the CPS investigator came to the school and seen the kids.
Now, before the CPS came into the investigated the school, what did CPS first? Did they contact you first, or just out of the blue they decided to drop into the school?
Somebody contacted them and they dropped into school. I didn't even know anything about CPS.
That's usually not typical. They don't talk to the kids at the school yet. They first come out to meet you at your home. So that's not typical.
They didn't do that. They didn't do that until later when they came to the house and talked to me. And he came and said, "Hey, can I see the kids?"
Okay. So they're doing something.
I watched 2 shows before that, and I told the guy, "Not unless you got a warrant."
That's true. You don't need. My rule number 3 is you don't talk to social workers. You don't allow them in the home, and you certainly don't surrender your kids. It's your Constitution and civil rights that protect you.
He tried to intimidate me. They're saying he's going to go to the county insurance. I said, "Well, go ahead, go for it." So they're going to tell you the same thing. You can't come to my house until you have a warrant to proceed to do so. Well, I'm not. I said, "I'm not an officer. I don't care if you're an officer." And when he's up there and try to argue with me and everything, it's like, you know what? You want to see the kids? Come and see the kids. They're fine. There's nothing going on.
So they went ahead.
Then I agreed to services. Then I had to change it. I went and talked to the lawyer. I said, "You know what? I'm done." So you can talk to my lawyer. The next thing I know, then a summons to go to court for 2 of the kids, the 2 girls. And we had our first initial court hearing. And I guess the court found out I have 3 other kids, and so they basically adjudicated them, and then they turned around and adjudicated the other 3 kids along with them. And there was no case against the other 3 kids.
Did they have any allegations they tell you about?
I think the allegations was neglect and denial of critical care.
So someone called in, a layperson.
That's what they removed the kid.
Yeah,
that's what they removed them off.
Well, were they in danger the time they came to remove the kids?
Yeah, well, me and my wife decided that we weren't going to go to court.
No, I meant, were they in danger when they came by to grab the kids?
No.
Did you know anything?
We weren't even in the state. We weren't even in the state when they grabbed the kids.
Okay.
My wife and the kids were in Tennessee. I was on the road going back to Tennessee to go get them. And the cops showed up at the house they were staying at. Then they had a court order to remove the kids from our care to be transported back to Iowa.
Wow.
And I seen the removal order said neglect and critical care. I said, well, now neglect and denial of critical care is a wrong-ranging thing that could be that, but it didn't say imminent danger or anything like that, I don't think. I'd have to find the court order and read it over again.
Well, it sounds like Nebraska.
The kids were not in immediate death. They weren't going to die that day.
Well, that's how the rule is supposed to be. The law is supposed to be, is that the child protection system and in your Nebraska, they're supposed to have a
I'm
situation.
Nebraska, Iowa.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, you're in
Nebraska,
Iowa, right? They're supposed to be an dangerous person right there. Hold on 1 second, please, for a
Right.
second. Hold on, right now.
You're breaking
Okay.
up. I can't hear you.
I paused my voice for a second. Hold on.
I don't know what you're saying. I can't hear you.
Second here, Dr. Death. A question is from
Huh?
Ghost Likes Pancakes. He asks, how do I get a question answered by text? Well, you type in the question and then we can try to answer it. Hold on 1 second. Let me look at here because I think there was another comment he made earlier. Let me see here. Do you know Tennessee law?
Right.
And I'm not a lawyer,
A little bit.
but I do know a lot about Tennessee law, and I'm pretty sure that Dr. Death does too. What is your question? A ghost like pancake. And I assume you're from Tennessee. I assume you're from Tennessee.
No, I lived there since
No, Ghost likes.
old age.
Yeah,
Till,
Ghost likes pancakes is from Tennessee, not you. You're from Iowa. I'm talking about Ghost. Ghost.
Well, I lived in Tennessee for quite a while. I mean, I lived there about 10, 20 years, about 10, 15 years.
Okay. Well,
I grew up in Iowa.
Yeah, what is your question, Ghost? Not you, but what is your question, Ghost? Dr. Death is on the phone with me. He's from Iowa, He has a difficult case. It seems like the child protection system there in Iowa is railroading everything through him. I mean, he's not getting a fair trial and so forth. There was a question today. Was that you? Can you get a new trial, or was that somebody else? Let me see if that was somebody else. Someone else asked a question here. Let me see here.
That's my wife. My wife's typing under my name right now.
Okay, it's okay. It's all right. I'm here to try to help you guys as best I can.
Well, I'm trying to help. Well, the only thing I know about Tennessee law is criminal laws.
Okay. Yeah, No Name, whoever No Name is, I don't know where you're from, had asked a question, can a parent ever get a new trial? And the answer is yes, but you're going to have to get an attorney. And I know a lot of you can't afford attorneys, and so that's really discouraging. And if you use the court-appointed attorney, there's a chance that he doesn't know the law either, because his law background is only criminal. We're in a specialty law. We're in what's called dependency law. It deals with juvenile law and family law. So juvenile law, family law, and dependency law all go hand in hand. And you could get a new trial, especially if the trial violated some of your civil rights, or constitutional rights, because you're supposed to have a proper trial. So if you have an improper trial, you can ask for a new trial. Let's say the judge is corrupt. You can actually fire the judge. There's ways that you can do all that.
Yeah, I don't know if our judges do, because most of the motions that they've passed so far have been all in favor of CPS.
Okay, all right. Well, we have about 5 people in this room, but there are not too many questions. I'm trying. I'm talking to Dr.
Have you heard of a civil complaint against, say, the court system that you can file in federal court?
Well, okay. If you're dealing with juveniles and you're in family court, which is called dependency court, you deal with juveniles. That it's not criminal court.
Right.
So it doesn't go by the same. Yeah, it doesn't go by the same rule. Now, what is Dr. Death says for a lawyer? It's $6,000 in your neck of the woods. It's $6,000 a retainer.
Yes.
That's a fair price, because I know in LA County here it's $5,000. So that's a fair price based on the market. I'm not saying that's a fair price to you or I, because we can't afford $6,000. And how I came up with my retainer is I quick sell my home, which I wish I didn't done, because I'd worked 45 years for that home, but I needed to get my kids back. So I went ahead and quick sell my home for a loss. That was really tough to do too.
Right.
I lost all my equity to CPS. I lost so much to CPS. I lost my young daughter.
I think you lost half our income for our household when they took the kids.
Yeah, they definitely
So
want
the kids were helping out with bills and stuff, so.
Yeah.
No one is saying that we can't afford to have the kids. It's like, wait a minute. I didn't have a problem when I had the kids.
Okay, Ghost has a comment here. Ghost says a lawyer was assigned from CPS to my 15-year-old daughter. I grounded my daughter and took her phone away because she wasn't doing school, and the lawyer, and the counselor. Okay, I guess it isn't a lawyer. She says a counselor was assigned from CPS. How can a counselor at school be assigned from CPS? um, because she wasn't doing school. The counselor reported me for abuse. There's nothing wrong. If you're a parent, it's your right to take away a phone. Phones are not a given right. Phones are a luxury item, especially when children have phones. I mean, it wasn't too long ago we didn't have phones. And right now, our kids are spending too much time on the phone. I have a rule at the dinner table: no phones. No phones at the dining room table. I have a rule at the dining room table: no phones. None. You can't talk to your friends. That's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
As a matter of fact, CPS and get involved if your kids spend too much time on any type of electronic device.
Well, they don't care. CPS doesn't care.
Video games.
They don't care, and they won't help you there. But like with my kids, they had to get good grades to get a phone, and they didn't get their phone until the end of the middle school. I think it's ridiculous for children in the fifth grade to have phones. I know it's great because of safety concerns. But before we had cell phones, how did we get around anyway?
Right.
I mean,
we just letters out.
I mean, they're luxury items. They're nice. They're convenience. It's just like before we had voice phones, we had to use telegraph messages where you telegraph a message. I mean, all these are convenience. But, children need to concentrate on school and the basics. And I think two other things should be besides the basic. Besides reading, writing, and arithmetic, they should have a physical education class and what I call a life skill class. A life skill where they learn about bullying, they learn about dating, they learn about sex, they learn about drugs, and it's different levels of different kids. In elementary school, it's all about bullying. And in kindergarten and preschool, or even preppy K, it's all about strangers, talking to strangers and meeting strangers. There are numerous life skills that can be presented to the children. So besides the three basics, the reading, writing, and arithmetic, they should have a physical education class, and they should have the life skills.
You need to learn about responsibility too.
Right. Well, that's what life skill is. Kids are not born with manuals. Parents are not born with manuals. I mean, when you're in high school, you should know how to set up a checking account and a savings account. You should know about CPS and what they're all about. You should know about marriage and divorce. So there's lots of life skills.
I mean, I don't know, girlfriend asked me, like, what are you going to do when my kids want a cell phone? I said, well, go out, figure it out and work for it, like we did.
Well,
maybe do like odds and ends at home or whatever, do chores, get paid, save your money up, and get a cell phone.
Well, that's another thing too. Is I told my kids, if they're going to have a cell phone, they're going to have to pay for it. I can't afford to pay for 6 phones, and it all depends. They're important. They're getting jobs now anyway. The kids in high school are getting jobs. I worked in high school, and that was what? My God, that was 55 years ago.
I got my clothes. I paid for it when I went and got the job.
Yeah, I mean, it was, if I wanted a car, I had to get a job. I mean, that's the whole idea of having a job. If you want things, you got to work for it. You can't expect your parents to pay for it.
Right. Can't pay for everything.
Right. Now, I guess your wife is doing the typing. She says, do they have... That is fine. That's fine. Do they have a reason to come over and don't have CPS come over unless they have a warrant in their hands? Yeah. The way you deal with CPS, and this seems to work out really great, is don't answer the door. The reason why I tell you don't answer the door is you don't know who's at the other end of the door. And too many people are being shot. It seems police like to empty 5 rounds in somebody's chest, and maybe ask questions later. But I tell people don't answer the door. Bad things will happen.
The thing is, they show up here without the police.
That's fine. They show up with the police because they want the intimidation. But the reason why police are there is protect the social worker. There's a lot of angry parents of social workers, and so that's what the purpose of the police is. But the police are a nuisance. They come over there and they got their full battle gear on, very intimidating, and then they try to think they know about CPS laws, and they don't. They're there to, protect and to serve. They're supposed to protect and to serve. And if a crime is committed, they can arrest you. But that's a criminal matter, and that's handled in criminal court. Being involved in CPS is still bad, but it's different. It's a different kind of law. Like, if you have a criminal matter, you'll have a trial by jury. Now, CPS, there are certain states that do trial by jury. I've been investigating that further, but you should try to ask for a trial by jury in CPS cases. They don't want to do it, and because they know that the jury is going to side with the truth, and they know they can't control the jury.
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that you could have a trial by jury in CPS matters. You have to ask it. It all depends on the state, too. I don't know in Iowa. I'd have to look it up.
Right. I would have to look it up myself.
I mean, I want to open up tabs on this computer I'm using for my son, but I don't know how to open up tabs here. Both my boys don't believe in Google Chrome, or they like to use other browsers.
Right.
And I'm not familiar with the other browsers out there. I'm just old-fashioned. I mean, there was Microsoft, and I have everything with Microsoft and Google Chrome. I mean, that was just something I've been using there. But they have a thing called Microsoft Edge. But then when I click it, everything disappears. So until I get to know this computer, my computer took a dump, and so I had to use my son's computer there. Okay, we have about 15 minutes left of this live stream. What other questions do you have for me, Dr. Death?
Nothing really. The guy in Tennessee, he's got a public defender there, and he doesn't really, if he's not doing anything for you, you can always write to the judge, in his case, and ask for a new attorney.
Exactly. In every court, dependency.
I did that, and I got a new attorney.
Right. In dependency court, you go to the public defender's office and say, I want a new public defender. And they have to give you one. They don't like to because it's a lot of work, but they should. They should. So.
Well, I went to our local public defender's office, and they told me these people don't even work there.
Yeah.
They're actually private contractors, I guess.
Well, anytime, attorneys start to become difficult, there's something called the state bar. You can actually report them to the state bar, and they don't like that because it'll ruin their background there. You see, attorneys are supposed to be fighters and help you fight the cases, but they don't because they're hired by CPS. They're not motivated because they usually have 30 more cases. So they have a heavy caseload. And they don't know anything about dependency law, family law, juvenile law. They're more into, somebody that stole something or somebody that's corrupt or something.
I looked at my wife's attorney. He's got the family law and the juvenile law and the other law, I guess, for the juvenile court system or for the family court system.
Okay.
My lawyer is a family lawyer, basically. That's why he does those full time.
I see. I see.
But he's a new attorney. He's only been on the job for like a day.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have any complaints right now about him.
Well,
But the other guy I had, he wouldn't call me. He wouldn't give me no type of motion. You go in there and ask the witnesses and everything very few questions, very vague questions, and never would argue anything what they were saying in court to the judge, or why do they want this or why they want that.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the parents having control?
I hear you.
Or even arguing them where the fact that they missed 4 appointments or canceled 4 appointments that I set up for the kids, to where I might have canceled 1 appointment for one of my kids.
I see. I see.
So I got rid of him. I said, I'm done with this guy.
So where's your case right now, Dr. Death? Where's your case?
We got a permanency review in August.
A permanency review? You mean you've lost your termination of parental rights already?
No.
Okay, don't lose those. And if they do work against you, you can do an appeal.
All right. Well, the thing is, I told my wife tonight, or after court that day, that we need to do whatever we need to do to get the kids back. It's like one of the things we need to do is maybe take a parenting class from somebody.
Yeah, you need to follow their safety plan.
Counseling or whatever.
Right. You can sit there and fight CPS, and I did it, but it went to no avail. It just got worse for my case. They're very corrupt, so.
What really ticked me off is the fact that Gail said, the kids guardian ad litem sat there and spewed the same stuff that they wrote in their report to the judge, saying this was in the kids' best interest. So it's like, wait a minute. When did you see the kids? When have you talked to the kids?
I see. The guardian ad litem or the ombudsperson are bad people because they're just ears for the child protection system.
I asked somebody tonight, how do I get rid of her?
You don't talk to them. A guardian ad litem isn't. See what the ideal between a guardian ad litem or ombudsperson? They're supposed to be someone that can give you comfort. But they don't give comfort. They just wrap their mouth off and talk to the CPS worker. So they're useless. Guardian ad litem, public defenders, ombudsperson, all of them are bad. All of them are bad. Because they're just going to rat and tell CPS and make your case even worse. So, because they act like you can be confident with them and open up and tell about your story, but they just sit there and blab their mouth at CPS.
Me and my wife have never talked to the guardian ad litem.
I didn't either. I don't like to talk to them. In fact,
she came to my house once and seen the kids were with us when they were with us. They were okay. Everything was done. Everything was calm and cozy and stuff. Nothing was going on. It was a nice summer day. We're all outside, just enjoying the weather.
Now, No Name said something out of the wall here I'd missed.
What?
No Name says something I missed here. No Name says, what do you mean CPS is interested in people who stole something? Now, I don't remember anybody saying stole something. Did you say something like that, Dr. Death?
No.
I wonder where. No. I wonder. No Names. No Name says, what do you mean CPS is interested in people who stole something? I don't know that. I don't know where you got that from. No Name. I'm trying to.
They don't care what you done in your past. They will use it against you.
Yeah, No Name. I don't know why you came up there.
But a jaywalking ticket, or say, everybody get streaking as one of them in public or something.
Oh.
Or you get something like public interdiction, then they become interested.
Oh, okay. No.
They may bring it up, just the fact that you're a felon or whatever. That's about it. They shouldn't be too worried about anything. It's just what you've done in the past, not the past, but what you're doing now. They're more interested in.
No, it's okay. No name. It don't mean it has to say my bad. I just didn't understand what you were saying. No name. I'm trying to help you out there. Um, Shabby baby, Shab baby. I need help with all my kids. I never abused them or anything, and I got my babies taken at the hospital a few hours to give birth. Well, she encountered something called medical trafficking. Lately, the CPS social workers are hanging out at emergency room and hanging out at urgent care. And they listen and they want to take you. They want to take your child, and you just say no. You tell them to get out. If you just had a baby, first of all, they should not be on a list of people that can go to your room. You need to tell the hospital staff to get them out of your room. They can sit with the policemen and hold hands in the lobby, but unless they have a warrant, they're not taking your baby. You need to bond with that baby. You need the people that love you with that baby around you. You don't need people, strangers like the police or the CPS. Neither one of them wants to do good for your baby, so you don't want them involved. And you got to be very, 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 very careful. Shab baby. And where are you from, by the way? Shab baby. Oh, no name says he heard it wrong. That's why he said, okay, that's all right. Right. And I had no court order before the removal. No, you need a warrant. And you just tell you tell the police and the social worker of CPS, go sit in the lobby, hold hands, but not come in my room when my baby's just born. I mean, I've heard of one case where they tried to take the baby and it's still attached to the mother on the umbilical cord. I mean, that's gross. They should not be allowed in the hospital.
They tried to take my son and tried to take two of my girls because they didn't think mom could take care of them.
You know.
But we're going to get social workers. So no, you're not. You're going to sit back, relax. I'm here. So we got these things. Boy, they were worried because we didn't have diapers or a car seat yet. Well, excuse me, I didn't think the kid was going to come early. I thought I had plenty of time to get these things. So I couldn't get them until the next payday.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they will have these things before he leaves the hospital.
Okay. Well, we have about 4 minutes left of my live stream. It's already past 9 o'clock, but I want to give you guys a full hour, so that's why it's 9:34 now. I will be on tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's on the west coast of California. And 7 o'clock on the east coast in the morning. I know it's early, but I have a commitment that I have to go to. Now, Shab Baby says they're from New York, but currently staying in Texas for my baby appointments. So did the CPS matter happen in Texas? Is that where it happened? Or did it happen in New York? And I know you need help, Shab Baby. I believe you never abused them. And they should never have been taken a few hours giving birth. That's wrong. It happened in Texas. She had her babies in Texas, and CPS probably had the police want to remove the kids. Now, Shad Baby says, I don't need discipline my 4-year-old, and they took her from me, and there was no immediate danger at the moment. I know, that's typically their MO. They want to take your child right away. But I'm going to have to wind down the live stream. I want to thank you, Dr. Death, for taking the time to come here. My question for you, would you like to talk to Vincent Davis? You qualified by talking to you on my show. I can give you free 15-minute private consultation with Dr. Davis, my attorney. Would you like to talk to him?
Yes, I would.
All you have to do.
I know he doesn't practice here, but I'm willing to talk to him.
Yeah, all you have to do is text to that number, 626-698-0990, your full name, your email, and your phone number. And I'll take it from there. That's all you have to do. So when you hang up, you text it at 626-698-0990. But I really, it's a pleasure talking to you, Dr. Death, and I'm glad you have a chance to talk on the show. That doesn't mean you stop there. You can call me, again tomorrow or tomorrow night or whatever. But I'm glad that you did take the time to talk on the show. I want to thank No Name. That was great that you brought up some interesting articles. I want to thank Shad Baby, who's from New York, but in Texas is where her CPS case is. So thank you there. Child from Los Angeles, thank you for all your prayers. And I think I've already thanked No Name. I just don't know where you're from, No Name. Maybe you could tell me later who else. Ghost likes pancakes. I thank you for coming into my live stream. And you had a hard case. I can see that from what you've written in there. Let me see. We have Ghost, Dr. Death, Child. I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out. Oh, Freeman. I don't know where you're from, but thank you very much for dropping in, Freeman. Okay, No Name's from Wisconsin. I'm sorry, I missed that. No Name is from Wisconsin. And he had a train wreck of a trial. My attorney wanted me to lose. Well, I don't know if it's a court-appointed attorney or you hired them. Freeman is from Oregon. I'm sorry I missed that to you. So Freeman is from Oregon. I missed that too. So welcome, Freedom. From New York. Okay, I want to thank you all for participating. Do not stop fighting for your kids. Keep fighting for your kids. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Bob Pace signing off tonight.